I guess. I'm about to cop me a
Smith, also known as Akers, also known as the coolest guy in sports, back with another Who's Better. This time I have James Harden versus Paul George. Who is better between the two? James Harden this season, 53 games played, averaging 37.4 minutes per game, a whopping 36.5 points per game, 44.1 from the field, 37.4 for the three-point line, 6.7 rebounds, 7.8 assists, 0.8 blocks per game, 2.2 steals, 87% from the free throw line. Paul George in 55 games is averaging 36.2 minutes per game, 28.7 points per game, 45.4 from the field, 41.3 from the three-point line, 8 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 0.4 blocks, 2.3 steals per game, 83.6 from the free throw line. That being said, who is better between the two? Now, to me, these are the top two MVP candidates. I know the Greek Freak is having a monster season with the Milwaukee Bucks, but to me personally, I don't think he's in the conversation anymore compared to James Harden and Paul George, simply because I believe James Harden and Paul George they're just two better players than the Greek Freak, because we know that the Greek Freak is just an inside scorer, and he really doesn't really do much on the offensive side of the ball except get to the rim. He can't score at all three levels like these guys. So, to me, the MVP race is between James Harden and Paul George. But that being said, who is better between the two? James Harden is having an outstanding season, phenomenal. He's averaging the most points per game we've seen since the Michael Jordan, the GOAT. And to me, personally, I believe that James Harden, when you talk about a guy that most people only consider who plays on one side of the ball, he's so extremely good on that one side of the ball. It doesn't really matter. It makes up for the lack of defense that he may not play. He's a bona fide top 5 player in the league. It's no question about it anymore. To me, I'm going to tell you later on what I think he really is. But James Harden is the most gifted scorer we have ever seen. That's right. I say he's the most gifted scorer we have ever seen. Virtually unguardable. You can't guard this man, because if you play up on him, he's going to get by you. He's going to get to the rim. He's going to get to the free throw line. You can't give him space. He's going to shoot the three. Unguardable step-back move. Very crafty handles. And his ability to draw fouls and create contact is probably the greatest we've ever seen in the NBA. James Harden gets to the line at least 10 to 11 times in a game, and we've seen James Harden lead the trips to the foul line in the past 4 to 5 years. He's been number one. And the funny thing about James Harden is he's not incredibly athletic. He doesn't jump out the gym. He doesn't have really a quick first step. But he finds ways to get it done. He finds ways to throw his defenders off balance. He uses his craftiness and his strength to get to the rim. Once he gets there, the defense is pretty much cooked. You can't guard this man. You're going to either allow him to get a layup, or he's going to draw a foul, or both. That's how good on the offensive side of the ball James Harden is. Now, Paul George has made the OKC Thunder basically a contender to the Golden State Warriors. Paul George, he's been playing the best basketball in his career. I said in other Who's Better series when I was comparing Paul George, this is the best we've seen since pre-injury Paul George. We know how great he was with the Indiana Pacers, but even during that time, he wasn't as great as he's playing right now. He made the right decision by sticking with Russell Westbrook, and it's been pretty clear this season that at first I was kind of like, well, Russell Westbrook is still the best player on their team, but it's been pretty clear that Paul George is the best player on the OKC Thunder, especially since Russell Westbrook has taken a step back this season. We know his shooting percentages are down, but he's also shooting less, and his player usage is down as well. He's allowing Paul George to shine and be that first option, and he's happy about it. We're seeing maturity. We're seeing growth in Russell Westbrook, and we're also seeing a new MVP type caliber player in Paul George. Paul George is looking like a top 5 player in the NBA right now. But if I had to pick between the two, between James Harden and Paul George in the MVP conversation, I still got to roll with James Harden. because James Harden has scored 30 points in 30 straight games. James Harden hasn't had Chris Paul. James Harden hasn't had Eric Gordon. James Harden hasn't had Clint Capella. And basically, we know what he did when his team out of the playoff position. He went on that crazy run, and he's been scoring and scoring the ball super, super crazy. And for the people out there that says Giannis Antetokounmpo deserves the MVP, I'm sorry to tell you, he doesn't. He's just a highlight king, and the media loves Giannis Antetokounmpo because of the crazy highlights that he does. We know when it comes to the playoffs, we know what's going to happen with the Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to pack the lane, and he's not going to be able to get to the rim the way he gets to the rim in the regular season. And I don't really think his game, like I said, his game is not on par with James Harden and Paul George. Paul George is a better two-way player than Giannis Antetokounmpo, and James Harden is just a better player on the offensive side of the ball than Giannis Antetokounmpo, and just a better player overall. But that being said, between Paul George and James Harden, I got to give the edge to James Harden in the MVP conversation. I got to give the edge to James Harden as being a better player over Paul George as well, because you know what? I believe that James Harden is the best player in the NBA. James Harden is better than right now. Right now, James Harden is better than Kevin Durant. James Harden is better than Stephen Curry. James Harden is better than LeBron James. Right now. That's hard for me to say because I believe LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I believe LeBron James for years has been the best player in the NBA. But we're talking about right now, today, not what's going to happen in the playoffs, not what's going to happen 2-3 weeks from now. As of right now, James Harden is the most unstoppable force in the NBA, and James Harden is the best player in the NBA. So I got to give him the edge over Paul George. Even though Paul George is having a phenomenal season, I still think James Harden is the better player. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you rolling with James Harden or are you rolling with Paul George? Who do you think is the best player? It's your boy, Mike K. Smith, also known as AK, also known as Coolest Guy in Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell to stay updated on these videos because I drop them frequently. Guys, get in the comments. Let me know the next Who's Better video you want me to do because I will do it. Bye, full family basketball fans only. If you want to be a part of the movement, please sub. Let's get me to 1,000 subs. I appreciate all the support. This is your boy, Mike K. Smith, also known as AKIS. I'm gone, man. Peace.